And this is how you do it. You just come on, you just do this, and you just let your hand, no, you keep working, I'm doing this. Because you can do that and I can teach. And you're just letting your hands flop really nice and loose. And good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The best of evenings.
That's a Thursday evening.
It's not the best.
It's been an evening. Yeah, it's been a Thursday.
Perhaps.
Yeah. This is Saga Live. Skill development session.
What?
Skill development session.
What?
Skill development
Session?
session
Number
10. Welcome to Saga Live Skill Development. Welcome to Saga Live. And good evening. This is Saga Live Skill Development session number
10.
10. As in 10.
As in 10.
10.
2 5s.
Two fives. 1 more than 9, 2 more than 8, 3 more than 7, 4 more than 6.
1 less than 11.
1 less than 11, but it's number 10. So thank you all for joining us tonight. We are clearly very good at math.
Well, Logan was watching. What martial art is that?
What martial art does that come from, Logan? It's
Which one
secret.
doesn't it
We
come
can't
from?
tell you where the secret art of this originates from. It's too brutal, and we learned it in our secret travels. John is
Hey, John.
totally watching. We're really lucky to have you guys here tonight. This is going to be a really fun one. We're going to burst through a lot of our intermediate curriculum. We're going to try and wrap up a lot of things. This is going to be the last full hour-long Saga skill development session where we go through different pieces of the curriculum. From here on out, at least for the next few weeks, we're going to be doing specific little pods of curriculum or packs or like Tide Pods. Anyways, we're just going to...
Specific skill sessions?
Well,
I mean, like...
a little more like a 1 thing rather than a 10 thing.
Yes.
So
specific.
Join us tonight. We're going to go through a ton of different things. We're going to wrap a bunch of content up, and we're going to package it all for you in a nice bento box of bento, like the Japanese.
I understand.
Okay, bento box of food, training, fighting for you. So,
But no actual food.
so let's go back onto that mat for that top-down check-in.
I'll stay here.
You can stay there. Top-down check-in is all about figuring out what you need to stretch and warm up from the top to the bottom.
And if you hear things starting to pop, that means you should probably work on them.
Bottom to top, what's that? Middle of my... oh.
Saying things I don't
Just
say.
break your own neck, like really hard, just, get that going. Now what you might have noticed is that we've been sharing this content to a lot of like stage combat, to a lot of fight training groups and martial arts groups, but Abra and I, we only occasionally demo selling techniques, we only occasionally demo the kind of fight performance-y side where you're losing, because we're really focused on this curriculum with the first start of just building the action skills as they are for the people that need to get their body mechanics down in order to look like they're throwing punches. So we don't really necessarily consider Saga Action Arts a stunt training curriculum right at the beginning, because we're training actors to have strong martial arts skills. We're training strong martial artists to be better performers.
Trying to get the skills and techniques down first.
That isn't to say that we don't teach cells or reactions or anything else like that. We really do. It's incorporated in a ton of our choreography. It's just I don't feel like hosting a class where it's like, okay guys, do that, do that, do that. That's more really an in-person thing. If you do need to work those cell skills on your own time, by all means work them. Saga Action Arts foundationally includes that stuff, but for the most part, it comes in mostly when you're working with other people. You can, of course, like I just said, work it on your own time, but really, 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 if you need to focus on something first, get your body in gear. I hesitate to say in shape because people will take that the wrong way, but make sure that you've got your mechanics down, because if you can get your hips going and your chest going and you can work on that whole line from bottom to top, then you can really sell out. If you're just training to just do this all the time, you're just gonna hurt your neck and you're never gonna really look that good anyways, because the rest of your body is gonna be disconnected from your reactions.
Yeah.
And that's my spiel. It's my spiel.
What is it?
It's my spiel. Like Spielberg.
You just define that?
No. Well, those plyometric hops.
What does plyometric mean?
I don't know. It has something to do with jumping, Abra.
Oh, okay.
Alright. I'm gonna kick for a bit.
Cool.
You wanna kick for a bit?
I'm gonna bounce a little bit and then
You
I'll
wanna
kick.
bounce and kick? I'm gonna go for my side kick, front kick, side kick, side kick. Front kick, side kick, front kick, side kick.
You can do a crescent kick?
Again, we're just flowing around,
Just doing our
opening
thing.
things up, trying to feel all those pieces of the body. If I'm throwing a knee, look how I'm rotating my upper body, or how I'm throwing my lower body. Always, always, always just trying to maximize waking up every little part of the body. Before we go, I'm feeling it in my wrists. Won't wake those up. And then let's just do some forward rolls. After you, Abra. How about you start over there, and then I'll roll the other direction. Let's just make this crazy crazy.
Okay.
You roll. I roll. You roll. I roll. You roll. I roll. You roll. I roll. All right, how about some back rolls?
Let's do it.
You roll. Almost kicked me in the face.
Sorry.
I roll. You roll. And I roll. And you roll. And I roll. What I like about what we're doing here is that even though it's really chaotic and silly, a large part of this is that we're making sure not to run into each other. We're kind of paying attention to that chaos. And because I was trying to go immediately after her, she was trying to go immediately after me, we're trying to find the space where we can go from and fill that space without tripping over each other. Also, while at the same time avoiding the walls.
It would be, if we had more space, it'd be a lot of fun to try and go in the opposite direction at the same time, but yeah.
I actually really like trying in the smaller spaces where it's like we could just run into each other and let's see how we have to be like, go right past each other. So that's it for our top-down check-in and flow. We're now going to go into our rec flow. We're going to be combining some techniques. Rec flow and action flow techniques together as one unit. So you get to do the cool stuff and you get to do the stuff where you get dropped. So this is where the stunt training kind of comes in, because I don't necessarily consider falling something that just stunt people should learn. I think falling is something for everybody.
Because it is
self-defense against yourself and your own dumb mistakes. We're all going to slip on ice at some point. We might as well be ready to deal with it.
Or downstairs.
Or down the stairs. What we're going to do is we're going to break down doing a sweep combo from the S-sit. That's going to mix doing the front kick sweep to the rear kick sweep. So I'm going to start by breaking down that front kick, and then Abra's going to break down the rear kick, kind of following along behind me. To start, when we want to get into our S-sit, one leg's in front, one leg's out to the side, bent this way, bent this way. I'm going to take my hand, put it on the ground to the side of me, and lean into it while also taking this hand and creating either a cover, it can be out, it can be on. I need to put my hand wherever is most comfortable for me. I do recommend though that it stays in line with the shoulder socket as opposed to going out really far behind or really far ahead. I'm trying to create a nice, gentle post. I can bend right here and I can push up. From here, I'm gonna push this into the ground, push up against it, kind of like when we were doing some of those MoveNet action flow basics. I'm gonna put tension into the shoulder and raise my hips up off the ground, almost like a half dancer's bridge. I'm up and I'm back down.
Almost like a half kneeling.
Like a half kneeling get up in a sense too. So we got this figure 4 shape. As I come up, I want my hips up first. I want to feel that fouette-like bow pull that we're going to be doing from our Saga kickboxing, because what I'm going to throw next is my roundhouse kick. I've leaned my weight into here so I can pull that weight across, lift that knee up, extend the foot, and bring it back. So just going through it one time, I put the hand to the ground, I lift my hips up, I push forward. If I gotta go through the leg into the toe, that's fine. I lift the knee up, I extend, I retract, and I bring it back. Up, and kick, and bring it back. To the side, up, kick, and bring it back. I am teaching this hip get up part because it would be really easy just to stay on the ground and do this. Anybody can practice that on their own time. It's totally valuable. Just having if Abra just stands right here. If I just have that kick, it's totally great. But what we're training for is to come all the way up to the stomach, or all the way up to the knee on the line.
Or if they're really short, all the way to the face.
Either way, I'm presenting enough that I'm also training to hold my posture, so that if I want, Abra can just jump right over my leg.
Over.
There we go. And I'm supporting with this, not just holding it down here. I get up into it. Which is also going to help us with some get-ups later. So, take a step out for just 1 second. I'm going to talk about getting into the transition, and then Abra's going to finish it up. Post the hand, raise the hip, kick the foot. Instead of bringing it back, put this knee to the ground. And then we'll go into the next kick. So Abra, you go into that kick that you were teaching before.
All right.
So build it up from the front kick.
Yeah, I'm going to.
A little bit more of this.
This kind of requires momentum. So if you are posting up, you're throwing that kick out, you'll notice that you're now kind of loaded for this other kick. You're going to switch which hand is on the ground and just kick through all the way back to S.
Exactly.
So I'm going to do it from the other side now. We should practice this both sides.
2 sides.
2 sides. You have 2 sides. So again, you're posting, you're coming up with your hips, you are kicking with that kind of roundhouse or fouette kick, putting that knee down, and at this point in time, you are transitioning your hand while you're also transitioning your leg. And you can make that into a hooking kick, like that, or you can just make it into a straight kick. And either way, you will hook it at the end and get back into S6.
Can you show that from the other side so that they can see the hand transition? To just flip towards the wall. So this is really critical because also, again, if you're following along, you can be watching as she goes from behind.
Here.
See how the knee and the hands plant? Make sure that you spot as you turn over. So break it down and make sure you include that moment where you spot. That looks really good.
Up. Right now this hand is in front of me, guarding my face. I am kicking, turning, planting my knee down, still looking behind me, planting that, taking the other hand up, spotting behind me, and kicking.
So you see how she can land right back in the other S-sit. That's really awesome. So when we do this move together, well, I'll do it and then you'll do it. When we add these 2 moves together, it's posting up, kicking, dropping down, turning, opening back up, and landing back down. And I can pop, pop. So now I get these nice little flows. And if I'm using my little martial arts hands, that's great. If I don't want to use them, I can just boom, boom, and just come on down. So now what we're going to do is, why don't you rep out 1, I rep out 1, you rep out 1, I rep out 1.
We're going to do 4 in total.
Let's do 6 in total.
We're going to do 6 in total.
So Abra does 1 combo.
Okay.
You'll come this way, I'll go that way. We'll just do it exactly like we were doing it before.
Okay.
You might need to
I switch my legs. Yep. Up.
Front kick, rear kick. And then she gets up and out of the way. I drop down. Front kick, rear kick. And I get up and out of the way.
That one I did not come up as much on my hip, which I am realizing, so that's a note.
Yeah, this is the weird side for me. Front kick, rear kick.
Say weird kick.
Rear kick, I said rear kick.
Is it rear kick?
Rear kick. Front kick, rear kick.
I heard you say weird kick.
It is a weird kick. Drop into it. Front kick, rear kick.
Very cha-cha of you.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. I'm not as good.
Oh, wow, nice. Yeah, once you get into those pigeon drops, it's awesome.
It's fun, if you can.
Yeah. Front kick, rear kick.
You don't have a mat, don't do the drop.
Unless you are like a conditioned Silat practitioner.
Unless you are cha-cha.
And then you're way stronger than us. All right, last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull back that combo from Tuesday night and incorporate this in. We might mix it up just a little bit. I'm not gonna add any other new techniques, but we just wanna show you how it can all play out. So, who wants to go first?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Abra does her forward break fall. So let's just say I invisible Spider-Man whip and pull. She lands on the ground. I pull through her feet. She lands on her back. Now what she's gonna do is she's gonna roll up into her S-sit. There we go. Now she's gonna sweep to get away, sweep to get away, and then she's gonna sit back onto her back. No, same way. And now she's gonna do her rolling get up. Very good. So one more time with that, and then I'll do a rep.
Spider-Man.
So this is forward break fall, kick through, switch to your S sit, double sweep, back flop to rolling get up.
You got this.
You got this. Yay. All right. Whip, pull. Sure, why not? She tries to get away from me. I stomp. Boom. She kicks out. I dip away. She comes up.
You're here for some reason.
I'm there for some reason. We'll build choreography into it later. She rolls, and she comes back up. And she's facing away from me, so she just runs away, I guess.
Go away, Spider-Man!
Go away, Spider-Man! Go away!
I'm gonna use my force powers.
You're gonna use your force powers, or are you a Jedi or are you a Sith? Both. Oh man, that hurt. Kick out through. Roll back up to my S sit. One kick, two kick. Roll back down. Come into my rolling get up. I'm still facing her, so I run away.
You wanna try it again?
Yeah, I guess I should try that again. I'm gonna do it from that side so that I don't worry about like hitting the wall. All right, ready? Oh! Stay back! I know martial arts things.
Do you?
Sweep this way. Sweep that way. Turn back down. Roll and get up.
This requires a little bit of cleanup, but that's okay. Still, you're getting a lot of good mechanics out of it and a lot of fun.
It's just a fun action flow combo where you can combine falling and wrecking and doing a little bit of a, I almost would say like a character development sort of feeling. I mean, in the course of these moves, you're going from falling and being on the defensive to turning it around to try and counter things, and then you're just getting up and trying to get away. You can literally tell action flow stories.
You can.
If you want. It's basically our version of creating martial arts demo work with a little bit of flow and a little bit of self-defense and blah, blah, blah. I am not saying this well, so I'm going to wrap it up
Action
now.
flow stories coming to you soon.
We'd love to see your action flow stories.
Yes, we would.
Yes, we would.
Yes, we would.
Yes, we would. We're going to wrap that one
Yes,
up.
we are.
So thank you very much. That was a fun one to play with. Let's go into our kickboxing.
For kickboxing, we are resuming our, of course, S series, and we have been doing exchanges. So we're going to show you the exchanges for 8 and 9. Before that, we're going to very, very, very quickly run through combos 1 through 9, and then we will run through the exchanges 1 through 7 before getting into 8 and 9.
Okay, Abra, lead this one. I'm going to come over here so that you're in the microphone. Yeah, well, I mean, that's how microphones work. You talk into them, not away from them.
All right, I'm gonna do the defenses. Dylan will be doing the strikes. 1.
Jab, rear kick.
2.
Cross, lead kick.
3.
Rear kick, jab.
4.
Lead kick, cross.
5.
Jab, lead kick.
6.
Cross, rear kick.
7.
Lead kick, jab.
8.
Rear kick, hook, cross.
9.
Lead kick, cross, hook.
Nice. Okay, those are our basic combos. If you don't know them by now, review past videos, even review that little bit. We're going into exchanges. As you might remember, exchanges are us doing each combo back and forth.
Right, and make sure that when you're practicing these, you get to practice the offense and the defense side of each combo. That's where the secret sauce of this lies. You get a lot of reps in a short amount of time, and you're working every little direction of your body in this basic configuration.
Basically what you can do is after you get to the end of it, after you get to 9, go back through the loop and change who is the initiator. And
Right. I remember inventing that. And I forgot it already. Okay, lead the way.
all right, do you want me to start?
Sure.
I'll strike.
Yeah, yes. Sure.
1.
Catch, block.
You go.
1.
2.
Cross. 2.
3.
3.
4. My bad. 4.
4.
5. 6. 7. All right, so that was 1 through 7. Now we're gonna do 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
8 and 9.
Are we?
Yes.
Let's run through 1 through 7 one more
Never
time.
mind. We're gonna run through 1 through 7.
I'll go first on 1 through 7, so we'll show an example of what Abra was talking about.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now you've seen it both. I'm doing the offensive first and the defensive first. So you get to see how just those little variables get to change, what types of timing you get to play with.
Yes.
It's a lot of information, a lot of training that can happen in just a few short combos. All right, now teach me the ways of 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
8 and 9. Exchanges?
Exchanges.
Exchanges. So how do you do 8?
It's the same way you've been doing 8. You're just doing it as an exchange.
Okay.
So go ahead.
We got the giggles tonight.
Go ahead and throw. I'll throw 8 at you.
Sure.
Okay.
Bring it on, Abra.
Okay,
Ah.
I guess I will.
So fire 8 at me. I block, I bob, and I parry.
Yes.
I like to call it a bob. She likes to call it a fade.
It's a fade or
And then
a
I immediately
sway.
follow up with my rear kick, my lead hook, and my cross.
8 one more time for exchange. 8.
Rear kick.
Now we're going to 9.
What I want to make really clear before we move on to that, just one note. What we just did together is a 6-move combination. And she's throwing 3 beats in a row, and I'm throwing 3 beats in a row. What makes that fun, in my opinion, isn't just that she's throwing a jab.
There.
Just throw a jab, and I'm throwing a jab. And she's throwing a kick, and I'm throwing a kick. There's good choreography in that too, but a lot of people end up relying on exchange to exchange to exchange to exchange. If Abra throws this flurry at me of 8, go with 8.
Okay.
We're both chasing each other down over the course of multiple moves. So we're already building in, especially if you want to be a choreographer, if you want to start wiring yourself this way, you're building in a tendency to actually add beats per exchange, but per like character A delivering to character B. If you look at a lot of like stage combat nomenclature, how they write things out, it's usually A does this to B does this to A does this to B does this to A. And it's a good way of writing it out, but sometimes it's very hard to write down A, B. So in this case, we're really building up being able to launch a lot of flurry attacks. Whether they're filler or not, you want to think about these combos again as one technique. So when we say 8, Abra and I literally just threw 2 moves. Okay, now please, teach me 9, oh wise one.
9. It's the opposite of 8-ish, kind of. So,
Yeah.
again,
It's the inversion.
inversion, yes. 8.
You mean 9?
I mean 9.
9. Do it again and call out what the moves are.
9! And lead kick, cross, hook.
All right, so I go lead kick, cross, hook.
Nice.
Yeah, all right. Give me one more.
9. Lead kick, cross, hook.
See how we're really staying in each other's space? As soon as she finishes that combo, so do 9. I should be chasing her right back down, so we shouldn't be leaving the pocket for more than a second.
Counter. It's a counter.
It's a right on time counter. We're not, the more you train, let me make this one last note about this because this will be really great for you to take as a note and put through all of the exchange curriculum. Let's go really slow.
Okay.
So fire 8, really slow. And 9. See, there was no reset there. And what I want to focus on is I want to focus on the fact that that was just 12 beats between the two of us. There's no reset, there's no break, and we can take it as slow as we want, but we can stay connected the whole time, treat it like a dance. So one more time with that.
With all of them or just 8?
Just 8, we're not doing all 40 moves at once right now. That would be madness. Let's practice a bit more first. it would be Sparta. Okay, so slow, 8. Six moves per exchange, 12 moves total. You can flow with your partner. You're working on constantly shifting range. You're working on constantly shifting targeting. Your feet are moving the entire time. There's no way around it. You have to keep your guard up the whole time. It's very hard to do this when your hands drop down to here because you gotta fire those counter punches or you gotta get those blocks up.
And what we say by no, or what we mean by no reset is, real quick, if we just do one.
Sure.
Go ahead and throw one at me.
1.
Just, sorry, do it again. 1.
1.
I'm not just like, okay, you just threw 1. You're not taking that time to pause.
We're really connecting these as chains. So when she does it the way that she's talking about, she goes 1, 1. So what you'll notice is that when she throws that jab and then she throws that kick, I go right from the block into my own jab. And it's figuring out that transitional beat that's really practical. Because if she throws that kick and I put my hands back and then I go for the next hit, it's not a clean counter. But if she throws that kick and I bounce off of it, I might be able to tag her. And I'm doing it on an entry, so you get some really fun little time interruptions there when you start playing with it. There's so much to peel away at for the S series. It's probably one of my favorite things I've ever built. I've been having a blast figuring it out. I've been having a blast working on it with all the clients that we had back at Ludlow Fitness and at Brian Stoops' Academy. And me and Abra, we've been playing with it for a few months now, and I really feel like it's practical for both performing artists and actual martial artists. It's definitely helped me with my Savate game, and I don't know, I just love it. So I'm happy to put it out there. I never thought I'd be putting this much content out there for free, but now is not the time for me to be hoarding things because I think they're great ideas. Now is the time to just share with people, get everybody active, work out at home so that when all this is over, we can start kicking and punching at each other for fun. All right, we're wrapping it up. We're done with the S series for tonight. Now we're gonna go into our stick work. So for tonight's session, what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on a template called evens and odds. It's really basic, it's really simple, and it's just to start training you just like the S series in a way of focusing on creating different combat rhythms. They can be practical or they can be performative. You have those options with these. So we're gonna start with our sticks. And Abra's gonna face this way, I'm gonna face that way, take a step back, all right? We're gonna do the same thing that we always do. We're gonna fire our angle 1 all the way through. Then we're gonna bring it up over our head, drop it down to our side, and fire angle 3. So this is our odds side. We're gonna bring it up over our head and bring it across our body for our angle 5. So let's just reset and just do those 3 angles. Ready? Angle 1, bring it all the way around. Angle 3, bring it all the way around. Angle 5. You wanna almost treat it like a big whip or like a big rope or a ball and chain. It's in a lot of Filipino martial arts, they don't want you to really necessarily go behind the head. But for the purpose of what we're doing here, we're just creating the next path, and I want us to start big before we start small.
And this is to do a technique. It is a kind of umbrella block.
In some Filipino martial arts, they're all about the umbrella block to the back, but I've gotten teachers that hate me for it and love me for it. It all just depends on who you're working with. But for us, start big so that you can start working on small later. That's all. Expressive first. Also, that's how it's going to look in film. There's a big fire sword comes around your back and it's going to come through.
Did that 6 slugs, not with a fire sword.
You didn't do that with a fire sword.
No,
somebody else did.
I did it with a different sword.
All right, so back from the top, angle 1, bring it around, angle 3, bring it around, angle 5. Now we're going to go to the even side. Why did we not do number 7? I'll explain why later, but let's get 2, 4, and 6 on the even side. This one is even easier than the odd side. Prep for my angle 2, I'm going to strike. Actually going to keep it short and bring it back. Prep for my angle 4, I'm going to strike, I'm going to keep it short, I'm going to bring it back. Then I'm going to prep for my angle 6, strike it right out, and bring it right back. 2, 4, 6. And we're doing these as short strikes. 2, 4, 6. For bonus points, when you fire the 2, stay straight up. When you fire the 4, drop down a little bit. When you fire the 6, just make sure you get your hip into it just a little bit. These strikes are the short strikes. The odd strikes are the long strikes. That isn't to say that you can't switch them around, but for the purposes of the first part of this drill, we're going to do long strikes on odds and short strikes on evens until we get to a certain point. But we're just going to work through 1, 3, and 5, 2, 4, and 6 today. We're not going to bother going to 8 and 9. We'll teach you those guys. We'll teach you those, you guys, later. In a separate video. So here's how this pattern can work really fun, is that you get a friend, or Abra, and you prep your angle 1, and you fire it. You bring it all the way around into your angle 3, and you fire it. You prep your angle 5, I still have to block if Abra's attacking me, because she's Abra. And she attacks me.
You also
1,
can agree
3,
who's attacking.
5. Yeah, well, you always have to agree who's attacking.
Well, yeah, I'm saying.
I mean, unless you're fighting somebody for real, in which case it's like, yo, can I hit you?
No.
Oh, I guess I can't win the fight then.
Sorry.
All right, so moving on, 1, 3, and 5.
I can
1,
defend this time.
3, 5.
I said I'll defend this time.
You didn't say it loud enough. I didn't hear you.
I'll defend.
All right, 1, 3, 5. Now she'll attack. 1, 3, 5. Aim a little bit more for the top of my thigh, because what's happening is you're aiming low, and so we're missing each other on that 3. Top of my thigh. 1, 3, there you go. 5. And so here's really where the secret sauce of this one comes in. When I throw that 1, in order to throw the next strike, I have to open up my hips again. So I'm training to reload the hips on each strike. 1, 3, 5. I'm really opening up each time. So now let's go into the evens. Abra fires 2, and we meet in the middle, and we reset right back. Abra fires 4, we meet in the middle, and we reset right back. Abra fires 6, we meet in the middle. In this case, if I want to defend, I have to have the stick up, and then we go right straight back. There's 2 ways to do this one, and I want you to pay attention to both. She can do 2, 4, 6 without moving anything but her arm. 2, 4, 6. Not bad at all. There's no reason not to be able to do that. You should absolutely be able to non-telegraph a strike with your hand. And even if you're doing a non-telegraph to it, you can turn it into a combo. If Abra takes a step back and walks forward 2, 4, 6. She didn't do any hip rotation. She didn't telegraph the combo, but she just did like bop, bop, bop. The rhythm was bop, bop, bop. What you can practice is that when you have it back, you can express the hip with each strike. 2, 4, 4, and 6. So what you'll see is you'll see that reset. We're not opening up as far as the 5, but we're still turning into the strike, turning into the strike, turning into the strike. So if you want to develop your hip rotation, you can absolutely do it that way. But if you want to develop your hand speed and just kind of a little bit tighter rhythmic timing, you can do 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. There we go. 2, 4, 6. And you should learn that way. There's a lot of Filipino martial arts drills where you just want to bop, 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 especially when there are these backhand shorter strikes.
Or backhand shorter strikes.
Yeah. So you could also do 1, 3, and 5 without moving the hips. 1, 3, 5, and it'll end up looking very saberish. I just don't particularly teach it that way because with the stick as a weapon, you're not really supposed to just kind of stand there a lot of the time. I can move like this. It's very weird to move like that. You can do it, of course, but these are so big, I really prefer to put more of the body behind them.
Especially for the longer strikes, it feels much more effective to have your body behind it.
Correct. So now we're just going to outline how all this can kind of go together by doing 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. I'll attack 1, 3, 5.
I'll attack 2, 4, 6.
There we go. So I'll start over here. 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. See, she's already loaded for her side of the combo. I like that. I didn't know if that would work out or not, but I guess it did.
I guess it did.
Let's do it one more time. Same sides. Ready? Come a little bit closer. 1, 3, 5.
Sorry.
Okay. Coming a little bit closer. 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. I'm chasing her down. She's chasing me down. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to show you all of these moves from a shadow boxing position. Let me borrow those sticks. And we're going to do those with our batons from S&R Tactical.
S&R Tactical.
They're so tactical. I'll take a blue one with the duct tape tips. And Abra's going to face this way. I'm going to face this way. 1, 3, 5. So 1, 3, 5. Chamber it up. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Bring it back over your head. 1, 3, 5.
Moving on. That's okay.
2, 4, 6. And now, if you want to, you can even add some footwork and take this and play with it on your own time, of course. 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. And see how I just changed up the rhythm? That's a big part of it. The long strikes, 3, 5, take a longer beat than the short strikes. 2, 4, 6.
Because short versus long.
And when you want to think about this, the short strikes, if they start over here, they never go past here. The long strikes go all the way through, come all the way back around. They're technically all, I believe, some sort of redondo in a sense.
Yes.
1 can come all the way back to 1. 1, 1. And then 2 is not a redondo.
No, it's not.
It would have to be 2. Oh, figure that out.
I mean, yeah.
The last thing that I'll say about this is that there's just fun ways of playing within an application. The idea being that if Abra threw her angle 2, I could block it short. She could go into her angle 1 as a long strike right from here, so just bring it up and over. Right, so now just transport right to it. So 2, I could dodge out of the way. So she goes 2. That was a very tight one. Give me a little bit more down, please. 2. There we go. So she can just go all the way through. 2, 1. You'll learn these transitions. You'll play with them. You'll build different combos. Try and do shorts on the odd side and longs on the even side. That's just kind of how we're starting out to give you options to play with. But that's where it can go. There's so much you can do if you just understand a couple of key concepts and start changing up the rhythm with the number. And that's it. That's all for our S series. No, Saga 9.
Don't do that.
Ow, I did it. Because it works.
We like to hang them.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's so cool. All right,
CQC.
chapter 4.
CQC, we are going to be focusing on a groin kick to a clinch, and then double knees, and we're going to throw out the person that we are clinching.
And then
we are going to elbow them in the back. Not really.
with the face. You're
With
gonna elbow somebody with your face.
I believe that's called a headbutt. Anyway.
Face butt. Ah! We're mature martial artists.
What
So-
you're going to do first. You
Rawr.
have the person coming in. Thank you for opening up your groin like that.
I'm making sure to open up my groin just like this.
Which won't always be the case. You're going to do what's called an advancing groin kick. Basically, you're going to do a pendulum step in, and you want to make sure that that front leg just goes straight up the line.
Straight up the line.
Up the line.
Up the line.
If he has that V, you're going up there.
Saying the human body's made out of V's and triangles.
Yes.
Okay, great. Just
Again,
double checking.
Again, that pendulum in, so your leg is coming forward while your lead leg is going up.
The idea is pretty much being that if I was going for her high line in some way, she's allowing herself to come into my space while also kind of protecting and dipping out from the top. So if I'm going for this grab, boom, she's just dropped it right in. There's no reason for this to necessarily be like a big over-the-top martial arts move because the mechanics just work very, very, very simply. It's literally just her tilting back and raising her foot. It's literally just,
And
But with that advancing step, she's coming in as I'm coming in. So she's cutting me off at the pass. It's very Jeet Kune Do in a sense, but you said you got this specific technique.
From Krav Maga, from Sean Stootman of Silverback Academy in Virginia. He also does have a Jeet Kune Do background as well, so that has something to do with it. You can make the kick a little bit more snappy too. Batteries running out low.
Oh well.
You can make it more snappy.
Oh, so like an instantaneous retraction.
Yeah, you can if you want to. Either one works, honestly.
Well, if you do like the Marvel Universe Live sort of all contact distance balance, if you just touch me in the thigh and then make it really snappy, Now, give me a little bit. Oh, you know, that's not necessarily 100% the way that you would sell a groin kick, but what we're trying to do here is just establish making that contact and pulling off, especially if you skip into it and skip back out.
I'm not gonna say the skip back out part for now, but
that's not going to come into this combo.
No, it is not.
Right.
Because we want to stay in distance right now.
So what happens when you kick me in the groin?
You're going to hopefully double forward, assuming that works. Okay, hi there. I'm going to come in with my forearms and have my hands on the back of his head, not his neck, but his head. I want my elbows to... Where am I going?
Talk to the camera.
I want my elbows to be close together. I want elbows close together in this clinch position. I'm bringing him to my shoulder or as far as I can. From here, I'm loaded up for a nice knee. I'm going to knee. And then I'm going to pivot step out, throwing him as I do so. And now I can let go, or what I'm going to knee. Good. Step. From here, I'm going to let go with one hand, keeping my half clinch with the other. I can reel him back, and I'm going to elbow down.
So notice how she's elbowing with her rear side right now. That's what she's going to use because she maintained this clinch as she did the pivot step out. We're going to talk about what you can do on your own time with these moves if you don't have a partner to throw around, because this is a great combo that you can also shadow box by yourself.
Yes,
it's a
can.
really great self-defense combo that you can play with. Really great combatives combo. So why don't you work it from this side just so that they can see it again?
Yep.
Other side.
No,
I mean, don't change your leads for right now. Just work on one side. Change the leads on your own time.
Yes.
So I'm stepping in. Maybe I'm attacking. I get hit in the groin. She claps in.
Down for me. I'm bringing him down to my shoulder. I'm going to knee. Right now I'm being nice to him, but I really do want to use my actual knee as a point, and I can go to his groin again or his stomach.
Ow.
Keeping him down. Doing that pivot step out.
Why are you always keeping me down?
Turning his head as I do so. Then, if I want, I can snap him back up.
Why are you always lifting me up?
My elbow back and
Crack.
driving it into
Crack.
him many times as I want. And I still
How many times do you want to do this to me?
A lot. And I still want to maintain this nice bend to my elbow, especially as I'm bringing him in. And this, having your hand up here for the elbow, is also acting as a block too, or a guard, so that if he tries to hit me, I can guard it.
You can do those distractions and everything
Not do
too.
the distractions.
So show them this extension real quick. When she throws me out, she can get that little pop out. All she has to do is pull her chest and her elbow together, and boom, she can pull me right back in. We could go into headbutt land at another point in time. We don't even need to for right now. The point is that she's got this shock control. She's hitting that reset button by popping me out and then popping into the back of my neck. And then as she's doing that, she's closing the scissors of her elbow into her arm. That's really good. So let's break down a couple of other pieces of that technique. I'm going to work on it from my side. I'm going to attack Abra. So she comes in towards me. I do that.
My bad.
I do that pendulum kick. Boom. When I go for this clinch, this is what I want you to start building for shadowing or being able to develop it as a look for choreography. Depending on what you need to do for the camera, you can either come from the outside, but if you're trying to do it a little bit more self-defense style, try and shoot up the line. Don't throw both hands at once, you won't have a cover. Go hand, hand, and then clap together. Hand, hand, clap together. When I clap together, I want to imagine bringing my elbows to my chest so that I'm hugging them in. If I want to go into headbutt territory, I gotta get under. I'm not gonna smash them with my face. That's in Hollywood, that's not in real life, so just keep that in mind if somebody ever teaches you and this is a headbutt, because it's not. Pull them in so that they're stuck into your chest. She's shorter than me, so this is really easy. When she does that to me, she's pulling me in, but she's got to make sure that her head's out of the way before she does, because she doesn't want to just pull me right into her own face. So she's really going to need to have that head butt chin down. For me, I can be up here because I don't have to worry. Different bodies make different results. So I pull her in, boom. And then when I want to go for that pivot step, I'm going to take this foot, pull it back around me, keeping her head tight to my chest as we move her. I forgot the knees. Clinch, clinch, knee, knee. I throw this down behind me, pull her in tight, turn. And then when I open up, it all depends on which side my lead is if I want to use a rear elbow. However, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the possibility that you still hold on to them with your rear arm for whatever reason, and you fire with your lead elbow.
Both are possible.
Both are possible. Neither one is right or wrong. It's just going to be if I threw her and she started moving a little bit harder and she got out of that grip and she's here, boom, now I can hit her with that lead elbow. If I throw her away and she moves and I'm holding her with the other hand, now I can hit her with that rear elbow. I want to maintain that control and keep that other elbow up as something to fire. And again, depending on the height and the type of person that you're fighting, it can either be up to down or it can either be to the inside. So why don't you show us shadowing it a couple of times, now that we've broken down the technique over and over and over again for everybody at home.
Groin kick. 1, 2, pull it down. From here, knee, knee. And then you're gonna pivot step while moving their head, kind of like, I've heard this referred to as like a wheel on a car, that you're just turn the wheel, pop them out if you want, pull them back in, and you can also clap your own elbow to simulate that contact if you don't have somebody.
It's partially simulating the contact, but what it's also doing is that it's coaching you into driving that all the way through. So when I'm working with a partner, I might short stop myself. When I'm doing choreography or combat, I might short stop myself. But when I'm working on my own, I want to train closing that gap as much as possible, whether it's with the rear hip or with the lead hip. And when I'm doing it with the lead hip, tight little pivot. When I'm doing it with the rear hip, big pivot.
I will say, if you are working with a partner and you do have mitts, you can also elbow to the mitt and have the contact point.
So if you grab me around the neck, don't hit too hard.
Up, elbow.
Now do a little bit of pull. Just to give her the feeling of setting up those hits hard while holding the target. If you want to work on that with a partner, great. Just take it slow.
Know what you're doing.
Don't rush into hitting people with your elbows.
All right.
So last time you demo it on me, and then I'll demo it on you. So Abra comes in, or I come in, Abra lights me up.
1, 2.
Brings me down for that clinch. Knees me, swings me out on a pivot. Elbow, elbow, until I go like, no more, please, Abra, you're scary.
And I can also just pop off.
Literally how my voice is gonna sound.
And now
I'm gonna come in.
I'm gonna come in.
She's gonna come in. I kick into the groin because yes, it actually does hurt women too.
Not as much, but yes. I've been kicking the groin.
Well, then I will go for my clinch. I go for my clinch, knee, knee, step and swing out for that. Pop her up. I like to use the lead, especially because I'm taller than her. Lead elbow, lead elbow, lead elbow, lead elbow. Just some fun little close quarters combat moves that you can throw together, build up some brutal combos. It seems to be the way that a lot of fight choreography is going these days, so if you're not learning how to do this type of stuff, you're missing out. Kung Fu will probably be making a huge comeback when Matrix 4 comes out, but until then, start learning some of those close quarters combatives, especially because the real deal people are releasing a lot of stuff right now, so you have a lot of people to look at, like Kelly McCann down with combatives, and a few other people like Sean Stoutman and everybody.
And JB Yeager.
Marilyn G. Kundo, who's filtering in a lot of information from Burton Richardson and his G. Kundo Unlimited program right now. We got a lot of other people that we could shout out, but
yes, we could.
we're gonna keep it kind of simple right there for now. That's it for the Saga skill development session 10?
10.
10. It's been 10. We've taught like 10 hours of content from our own curriculum. Yes, we actually have that much curriculum.
So you know what that means. If you like us, let people know.
Yeah.
share this on your timeline. Let them know that you're doing this stuff. If you're feeling generous, you can Venmo us.
That's up to you. But
That's
I mean,
up
look
to
at
you.
Abra. Look at this Abra. You want to feed this Abra, right?
It's your call.
And also, just keep in mind, we're putting all this content out here for free right now. We are hoping that when all of this blows over and the quarantines are over and everything like that, we've been asked before all this started where we're going to be doing workshops, how we're going to be bringing this content to other cities than just New York. We've got people in San Francisco, we've got people in Pittsburgh, we've got people in other parts of Philadelphia that are all asking us to come out and teach. I'm hoping to do workshops in Boston, Chicago, wherever people want to have this. And it's not that every little individual element is unique or original. What it really is that the methodology that we've created is to get people performing this stuff quickly, efficiently, and effectively. It is not all straight up real martial arts, and it's not all straight up simplified stage combat. It is put together in a way where you can be very aware of practical body mechanics while also building up that performer edge that you might need in order to announce yourself as the next action hero. And I know it works because my clients in New York City are awesome, and I'm so grateful for them training with me ever since the start of last year. So thank you to all of them from the bottom of my itty bitty little heart. And thank you all for watching this video now and being with us as we continue to give this information out as best as we can.
What you said.
What I said. What I said, Abra. It's what I said.
Like you said that.
That's what you said that I said.
Yes.
We're gonna leave that there. That's where we're at. We're done with our skill development sessions. You now have 10 episodes to check out, 10 hours of content to learn from. We'll be doing smaller bite-sized samples on Tuesdays and Thursdays from here on out. In between though, we are still, until the end of the month, doing our morning conditioning. Dang, I did it this time. Our morning routine show at 9 a.m. Eastern, and Abra will be doing hero conditioning every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, probably for the end of time, length of time. Yes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. We have one more comment. I think John was referring to the slaps at the beginning. Oh yes, that was CQC.
Definitely CQC.
This is CQC. All right, so everybody, we're just gonna end the video in the same way. We'll see you again next time.
Stay classy, San Diego!
Stay martial, artsy, drama, Dragon Ball Z, Saga, etc. Blah blah.